Hi and welcome to this Blueberry Markets video update with me, John Kibler, head currency analyst. In this video, I'm going to take you through Aussie US dollar. Could price be about to break resistance? So we talked about Aussie in the past, about how we could be seeing a bit of a pullback on the weekly time frame, and it looks like we are seeing that continued at the moment. Now, this is all going to depend this week really on what the Fed does in its announcement this week, but it is looking more likely that it's going to be a 75 basis points hike. That's what forecasts are suggesting. That's what reports are suggesting. A shock would be a 100 basis points hike despite the rise in inflation. So what we can see actually from the strength meter this week is a couple of interesting things. We can see that the US dollar is pushing to the downside. Let me just grab a different coloured pen. So you can see here, US dollar is the red line, and we can see that that is travelling to the downside through here. It rejected that area, and it looks likely that we could see this continue this week. Aussie, on the other hand, is this grey line. So you can see I'm just tracking it with my pen there, and you can see that last week was actually one of the best performing currencies in the market. Now, what's interesting about that is if we actually go to the Aussie US dollar chart, we're actually at a very key level of resistance. You can see prices form this trend line resistance where we had a couple of rejections in the past, and now we're back at this level. So people are going to be looking at this point thinking, are we going to start seeing a push back to the downside? Perhaps. We could see a minor pullback before then a breakout and a continuation to the upside. That's something I'd like to look for. If we get a rejection forming here and we get a higher low forming, I think that would give us a better opportunity to look for a breakout in the market. But I'm actually going to go up to some higher time frames. We're going to check out the weekly because price has been making lower lows and lower highs. But you can see for kind of the past few weeks, we've pretty much ranged within this sort of area in here, where we've had the market closing back within its previous week's range until last week we had a really strong bullish candlestick. That to me suggests that we could probably see a move higher as well because of the strong buying momentum formed in the market. So what I actually think is we're going to get a potential break of this area in here, and I think that price may want to come back into these areas up here where we had that consistent selling pressure before. Price came into here, strong selling pressure. Price comes back to retest that. Whether we get that strong selling pressure again, we'll have to wait and see. Maybe we'll get some kind of head and shoulders pattern develop there and price continue to the upside depending on what happens to the dollar. But we do have to remember fundamentally the dollar is still technically on the strong side. I'm going to jump up to a monthly time frame as well just to show you what happened last month. We had a bearish close. This month looks to be closing back within this area here, and we are coming to the end of the month. I think we've got five trading days left, maybe even less, maybe 4 trading days left now of this month, and it looks like we're going to be closing above these here, which could suggest that we are going to move higher as well. Because if we look left, where did price really come down into? Let me just actually grab a line and I'll just pop it on there, and you can see price rejected this area down through here where we've had multiple rejections in the past. So could that be a sign that we're going to see that continued move, maybe even up to sort of the 0.78? That would be a very long-term outlook view. I don't think we'll potentially get there, but you know, doesn't mean that we can't push these recent weekly highs just through there. So what I'll be looking for is one or two things. You know, I don't mind looking for the pullback here. I still think that if price was to retrace back from this area, it could be something to look for. If we get like a bit of a pullback down, maybe even to these areas here where we've seen some added buy-ins in the market. If we were to push those lows again, we could see another move to the upside. That could form at the Federal Reserve meeting on Wednesday. Let's say price pushes this low in here, breaks that low, but then closes back above. That could be a good sign to start looking for your opportunities to get long Aussie dollar with a breakout view of this trend line. If we take these highs out as well, we could be heading for a much higher prices. So keep an eye on Aussie US dollar. It's going to be an interesting week for this market, and you know, it's all going to depend what happens on Wednesday. But if we do see any kind of downside to the dollar, we could see Aussie US dollar benefit from that. Thanks for watching this video update. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave this video a thumbs up. Subscribe to the YouTube channel to see some more Forex trading content, and I'll speak to you in the next video.